There we go. Sorry. I was just setting some new stuff up. Due to popular demand, I needed to set one things up. Alright, sorry. There we go. Alright, get the controls in. There we go. There we go. Alright, this on. Now, can I do this thing? Can I do this one? It's too much controls. Too many controls there. Alright, this one. Okay, good. That's two things to control. There it is. Alright, get this camera in here too. Get this one in here. And we start. And there it is. The setup is just getting dinker and dinker every time. And more things going on. There we go. Oh, there we go. Alright, let's get some coffee and let's get some of the game dev articles to read before we hop to the news recap. Alright. One moment. This is done. Not forget everything. I think I did not. Did I switch the categories? I did. Good. Good. Let's go. Fix the cables. There it is. All right. What? And coffee. There we go. All right. I meet you makers, Steven. Enjoying some dungeon mastering there. Some dungeon mastering. It is pretty nice. It is pretty nice. User. Yeah, it is. It is. Well, not super cooking, but you know. And that's how it goes usually. From big brain to some coffee. And then sometimes some smaller brain too. We do it all, We do it all indeed, Yes, these do. I see. I couldn't test it properly. Yeah, the game is nice. The game is nice. The game is nice. Indeed, There we go. Get some of that coffee. Yeah, Truxel. And stream sniping. Let's see how it is, There we go. Got him. The grind enjoyers. Alright, get the Aeropress today. Got some milk. Might as well get some cappuccino. Hilton, hello. How we doing, man? How's it going? When are we getting the new masterpiece? The productivity is up. That's good. That's a nice result already. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Alright, chicory still going this bag. Not done. Triple the productivity. You should just type the marge. That's also one. It's also an emo nowadays. They all are. Alright, now we get the water. The productivity is up, sounds nice. So everything's going well then. Got well already. Back to normal. There we go. A little bit of a cult, them son. Cult of what? Cult of what exactly it can be even? Yeah, let me clean the grinder. The cult of video game development. And the nerd cult. I mean, that's not a bad thing. As long as you're not like discussing, no tropes and, min-maxing your brain and stuff like this, then it's fine. There are some compounds like that, min-maxing life and stuff. Yeah, but that sounds good. That sounds good. I'm getting like Twitter ads now from Spellkollektivet. Insane. They got the targeting odds down there, seems like. The odds targeting. The marketing doing work. All they need to do is some sort of work visa or something, and then I'm in. Then I'm in. We blocked out the treasure. Oh, you can't do it now? What? Oh. Oh. I think it's impossible if the pleb is not reaching it. I don't think you can block it that way. Coffee is also free at the cult. Damn, son. The value. the value. They sure do have everything then. Hökermans there, I see. The PPG Hökermans already in that game too. I guess that's inevitable nowadays, huh? Guess that's inevitable. Alright, get some milk and let's see if the milk's gonna be scuffed or not. Same supply. Alright, done. I'll warm it up. Isok. Isok be arriving. Alright, there we go. Now we wait a bit. Oh, now we wait a bit. No sound today. But no sound today. Back to the gray. Oh, back to the gray area. Yes, today we're doing Unity a little bit on the YouTube extra stream. And get that Unity going. Mess around with UI some more. Got my first real adversary, I guess. And the UI, yeah. Well, I mean, it works now, though. Just the zebra post and some other stuff. So I'm gonna check. Maybe I can do mine better. Because I think there are still... Well, there is one thing I need to fix still. With UI. Well, UI, I mean... Well, I mean, I guess, yeah, it's UI. It's one of the mechanics rather than complete purely UI stuff. But I guess... Rest a bit. UI is the most important. Well, it's not even like exactly the UI, you know, as menuing and stuff. It's more kind of like the map building, the roguelike planning section is done with the UI. And that one is a bit PP, yeah? No, I mean, it's not even that bad. It's also quite the stuff I tried to do, I guess, there. And it works. It actually does now. Nah, did they again got the shit supply? Did they again got the shit supply of milk? The last bottle was good, huh? And this bottle is cursed again, I feel. Stay with see, he should. Actually, it's pretty cursed. Maybe it's not too bad. Maybe not too bad, actually. Still, I think it's on the top layer being watery. The rest should be fine. Yeah, a little bit big, yeah. I would say not the best, yeah. I just foam dies up very fast. It's interesting. Like once in one bottle you get, it's fine. Another one you get is garbanzo. And it became hard to predict. I need to check actually the manufacturer then. It's like their own brand, but producers might be different. It's like the store's brand. Quite popular concept here nowadays. A lot of stores trying to do that, giving their own brands to not overpay. I mean, sometimes you just do have some motivation days and everything, Steve. It's fine. That's fine. Also kind of just like making myself really sometimes. Sometimes I would just rather like spend the evening playing some more Terraformers or something. You know. But then I kind of force myself to do it a bit. At least a little bit. At least a little bit. Yeah, they can instantly get like way less of volume too. Usually I have like the cup full. And even waiting until the foam goes down a little. And sometimes you don't. And with this, you don't. And back to scuffed milk. I think I just need to buy it. I need to check. So this was a Helios company. I'll need to check different bottles in their store. So instead of ordering, I guess I will need to get it myself. Not very convenient, but I mean, I'm kind of passing there once in a while. On my short stream days. Or like late start stream days. It will be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This week, the next week too. Even though next week I'm gonna be off Sunday because we're gonna have the Easter next Sunday. Force yourself too much and lose the fun, that is also not good. I mean, true. But you also might just like never actually do that, you know. Then there's no fun if you don't actually do it ever. And that's also the problem. You can also not force yourself and do nothing. And then yeah, then you just do nothing. That's also a problem. There's also a little bit of a problem. Alright, let's get something I've had to read. On that newspaper. Let's do... that seems good. Let's do this. So now let me do some magic. Can we make some magic work? We can. Alright. Good enough. And not like super perfect, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. It is what it is. Well, people asked, we delivered. Kind of hard. Well, I mean, I could, I guess. No, it's kind of hard on this one to make it way better. To make it way better. So hopefully readable. Those who wanted to read along too. The setup is advancing, yeah. Could do it for like the Twitter news too, but you know, capturing Twitter, considering you just scroll through a bunch of stuff there anyway, because you know, there's like a bunch of like show based on the game or something I don't really care about. So I don't capture Twitter. And some of the sources I use for news and Twitter is also like Russian, so I'm not gonna be able to read it anyway. Anyway, alright, let's see. Oh yeah, that one was the Dink one here. First game was a commercial failure. This is how we raised 1.1 million with it. Keyword spider's thread post-mortem. Alright. Did not complete our first game. I graduated from university in 2017 and have taken software development job. Well, my co-founder started working in 2019, also a software developer. Financially, we are both quite risk-averse. Both have reasonably secure, well-paying full-time job. Nothing crazy like SE money since we're in Canada. Been experimenting with game ideas on the side and created a hobby team of a few people. Spent 2 years of our leisure time building a prototype, best described as Shadow of Colossus, except you pilot a jet fighter, which didn't get anywhere close to fun and playable. Did learn a lot about how to use Unity, how to work with artists, which laid the foundation for our next project. Making of Keyword, first completed game. Idea for Keyword Aspires thread in March 2019, and a friend asked for help after being harassed by a stalker with a fake online profile. Using my social engineering skills, I identified the stalker and reported them to the authorities. Realizing how much fun I was having, I knew others would enjoy it too. Quickly got to work on the whipped up prototype for a week. Prototype was simple, remained the first puzzles of the game all the way till release. There was a simple story where the protagonist's daughter is missing and you have a computer that you can use to look at posts on social media trying to piece together clues to find out where she went. Invite a friend who doesn't really play video games, and she was hooked. Knew at the moment that this game could work. These are in general kind of like really well working format, I think. It's kind of the same, well, not the same, but similar with what's the name? The Hackerman one. The Hackerman horror one. With the deep net and everything. Kinda. I see those are kind of also doing, yeah, welcome to the game and stuff. And that concept also is quite interesting, I feel. Now comes the hard part, money. With the help of a few business advisory sessions from the Ontario government, we determined that we need to spend around 130,000 Canadian dollars to make the game we want, roughly 100,000 American dollars, which isn't something we can find in our couch cushions. Having worked in general tech industry for a while, I have built substantial connections and knowledge with the world of startup funding. Have decided that we want to raise money from other people rather than put a large amount of our own savings on the line. I mean, yeah, that sounds more reasonable. I'm spending your money, and you can spend others' money. Duh. The corpo basics. After extensive research and tons of failed attempts at pitching for publisher funding, we have settled on using a SAFE to raise money, which to my knowledge, while common among internet startups, have rarely seen its place in game companies, perhaps for good reasons. A quick crash course on SAFE. SAFE stands for Simple Agreement to Future Equity. Companies use SAFE when they aren't sure how much the company is going to be worth in the next while. You can receive investment, but the investors are not buying shares directly, but options that get converted into shares at the next fundraising event, where valuation is determined. Well, I mean, that's probably a lot of companies, because shares don't appear until way later. So you kind of invest in something, and you still kind of invest in the share of the business, just not in, you know, the stock shares. The concept is kind of the same. Let's see, Steve, I see. I mean, that's a lot, actually. Like, a lot of games, not a lot, but quite solid amount of those smaller games that I played recently. Like the tabletop Dungeons and Dragons kind of inspired visual novel. And that one was like founded by one of the governments. I don't remember who. Was it Greece or was it Spain? I think I played like 2 games funded by both, actually. I think Greece it was. There was a bunch of like ones funded by German government, and like plenty of those actually. So there's quite a lot. It's quite a lot of those indie ones funded. Germany's still stuck in medieval. Is this surprising? I think you guys are ahead of the curve with that stuff. I think so, to be honest. Because like from what I remember, like a lot that I played, they are funded by like some. It usually like it even says like some like, you know, like the land, or for like it's some German land, like NRW, right? All this kind of stuff. Like I saw that many times already, actually, over the years. So that's quite common. I haven't seen like that's why I kind of like remember like seeing some other countries, because usually it's just Germany. Because I don't know like many other countries that do that, to be honest. Maybe there are some bigger projects though that I kind of just didn't pay attention, didn't remember. But nah, that's quite common. That's cool though. That's really cool. If anything, I think it is like probably more a European thing, because I don't think like US government funds a bunch of stuff. It's more kind of like, you know, the full freedom capitalism mode, like you fund your own stuff. Maybe like in Canada they do subsidize some of this stuff. And that's pretty much it probably, I think. They should, well, I mean, they kind of do now, but like to get some funding here, you pretty much need to get like some, you know, like some insane like dick riding, you know, butt licking type of game that's gonna be, you know, promoting what they want you to promote pretty much. Then you're gonna get some. Same with the movies, actually, most of the time. They do fund some kind of like independent stuff. That stuff usually ends up being kind of good. But most of the budget just goes into some like, you know, oh, we have like a movie about some patriotic stuff. Oh shit, here's billions for that. And then it kind of like gets like a few millions in actual role, you know. That's how it goes. We have the certain symbols again. I think this is actually already allowed now, though. I think this is allowed if it's for artistic purpose, basically. All right, so let's see. Used yet, so did many of our investors. At this stage, people who invest are really just investing in the people. Maintain good relationships with many people who were interested, and I've demonstrated my resolve and resourcefulness being their friends over the years. And the perk of working at tech companies is that you know many rich friends who make Silicon Valley money but maintain a college bachelor lifestyle with a lot of spare cash. There's a bunch of people like that indeed. Also, once you get a few people on board, it becomes so much easier to convince the rest. The decision they have to make is now transformed from should I invest 10k into 130k project to should I invest 10k into a project that already has 100k in funding. The answer seems rather obvious. Getting publisher. Co-founder toured China for a few months in 2021 and was able to get a publishing deal with Gamer a Game in Shanghai, a publisher for a Dyson Sphere program. We signed over distribution rights in Chinese-speaking markets. Their track record was impeccable. A marketing effort. A game was also getting more promising by day. Confidence grew. First major marketing event was a streaming event on Bilibili with Mo Huan and Sunren, top-tier streamer in China with millions of fans. A game got over 2 million views. Around similar time, Steam Next Fest was on. Both times we did developer stream, we were featured on the front page, gathering 6,000 plus views. On the week of the game launch, we also had the honor of having my childhood idol Jonathan Blow streaming our game. The view was not crazy, but we were so excited and stay up all night to see his reactions. Ended up having lunch with him a few months later too. I made our game development into devlog and posted on Bilibili. Ended up with 1,500 plus fans. I wonder how they like that easy that they just go on their Bilibili and do stuff, because I thought like a lot of those platforms they kind of like really hard to get into if you like outside of China. I thought mostly you kind of need to like either be in, or I guess because they like had the publisher that's kind of like representative, so they kind of settle all that stuff and you just kind of like work there through them. The most viewed video has 42k views. Probably didn't help us with the sales directly, but attracted many talented game devs and investors to the community. Made the team more trustworthy when talking with other developers. A game was slated to launch in September 28th, 2021. Publisher helped choose this date to dodge other major releases at this time. That's smart. Alright, this is the date after first week of launch, and then the next chapter is depression. Damn son. Clear at this stage, the game will not make back our investment. So like imagine like getting much with 130. I guess from publisher they also got like a bunch. And then getting all this like insane marketing going, some the top streamers and stuff, and then like poof, not making it back even. making back investment, not to mention our own labor. Also clear that to us that making a viable business and quit our day job to work on it full time would be too difficult. Fell into a period of depression. Despite of accomplishing our dream of publishing a game on Steam, we have nothing to answer for our investors, who we knew didn't expect financial return, but we still felt awful that we have failed them. Being an investor in that case is like the worst shit, I feel. Like publisher at least kind of gets, their name out still, right? Like even if project kind of failed, that's another project in portfolio, we like publish that. There's like a case, we can research it and everything. We can like use it as like some sort of like informational, how do you say, like excuse basically to post like some press release or something to do about it or some shit. And yeah, again, you're gonna have your name on the project anyway. And when you invest, you just literally just like give money to them. It all just like flopped and you didn't get shit. Your name is like, still unknown, just like some random investor that gave money to them. And yeah, why? Why would you do that? When we see a lot of people reaching out to us. Publisher investors who suggest that we get on calls decided to use the proceed from the first game to start prototyping our second game. What did we learn from keyword that could set us up for success? Keyword differently a niche game. Definitely nothing wrong with targeting a niche. In fact, that is the only way we can realistically create a product that has a market fit at early stage as a small company. Run retrospectives in discussion with our publisher and decided on two biggest reasons for the financial lacklusterness. Keyword is hardcore linear puzzle game that is not very replayable and the duration is short. It is a very entertaining game to stream and watch. There is not a lot of reason to play it after you already seen a streamer play it. I'm kind of not sure about this one, to be honest. Like I heard a lot of times about it, and I don't think so, because there's like a lot of games that you saw them, there's kind of no point, playing them, but they still explode after like YouTube, after like Twitch, show them and everything, they still kind of explode. Like it's not just some sort of like Amogus or some like multiplayer stuff that's still, that works really good. I think like even like linear single player games are still kind of doing quite well in my opinion. Not sure why actually, to be honest, either. Like if it's like some story heavy stuff and I already saw that, then yeah, I'm not gonna really play it most likely. Until way later maybe when I will decide to like, oh, that was this game, that was kind of cool. I saw that, maybe I should play it myself too. I already forgot how it goes. Yeah, maybe with puzzles and stuff that's a bit different though, since there's not that much kind of like gameplay, I guess. But then like a lot of horror games and a lot of that kind of stuff, they wouldn't be that successful, right? Because like streamers show them all and like why would you play? And unless it's like the success of every of those little horror games is purely based just of like streamers and stuff buying those games to make content. I mean, I guess that also could be the case. The graphics and the visual is not attractive enough. While we had a great art direction, the execution is not at a professional level. A lot of inconsistencies as we try to fit different asset packs together. If I stop now, I'll have truly failed. Almost immediately we started to work on our second game's prototype, with two major decisions made to address the issue with our first game. Yeah, everyone is hello. Yeah, like, I mean, there are some like this, but that's the thing, they still succeed, though. That's the thing. I feel like the trick here is, like, first, either to have, like, the gameplay that kind of, like, is fun, right? So you're gonna, like, play it anyway, even if we saw everything. Like, what are examples, good examples of games like that, really, that I kind of seen? Well, I mean, any Souls game, for example, right? Like, I've seen, well, actually, no, I guess with Souls games I first kind of played, then I seen them anyway, but I still after that, I still went and played again, right? So that didn't stop me, even seeing the speedruns and everything, and like seeing it many times, didn't really stop me from like, like doing some runs once in a while myself, for example. And I can return anytime to it, actually, like, also. Like I was planning like Bloodborne for a while, but I don't have capture card and everything, so we'll see how and when I'm gonna do it, because Bloodborne, I can return any moment, really. That's a nice one. But yeah, like, hard to say. Like, if it's like a short meme game, I guess, or something that is done just for the sake of meme, then yeah, I guess there's kind of like no point. Yeah, might be that, Steve. Yeah, might be that. For puzzles games, it might be kind of hard, yeah. The thing is, like, there is, for example, the situation, like, you started watching something, right? And then at some point that happened, like, for many people on my stream, for example, right? Like, I started playing something, they watch it for some time, and then they're like, okay, this is good, so I'm gonna stop now and gonna play it myself, you know? Like, there's this stuff too, I guess. Told a dozen people to play Outer Wilds. Yeah, I think it's just like word of mouth and stuff going around, probably. Yeah? So like, it's just kind of like overall kind of hype is raising, and then more people kind of gonna get into it and buy it too. So yeah, I don't think it's it's particularly a bad thing if your game is like kind of like, you know, you watched it and no one's gonna play it. I think it's still not a bad thing. To be real, nowadays, like on Twitch, for example, a lot of people, they don't play shit anyway, you know, including streamers too. But those who play, at least streamers, they still have a lot of viewers who don't play shit anyway. They just sit there just to like meme around and everything, so you're not really losing a lot of audience that way. Like if some streamer played your game, doesn't mean that, you know, you just kind of like instantly lost some people from his audience who would buy that game anyway. Not really. They most likely wouldn't. Like those who would buy your game, they just came in, like how I usually do, right? Like if there's some game that is kind of interesting, I go in, I like check for a bit, ask, like if it's seller, for example, right? Like, what do you think about this one? Hear the opinion, see how it plays. All right, if it's good, I'm out, I'm quitting, I'm playing it myself. If I'm not sold, then, well, I can watch. I'm not gonna buy it anyway, I'm not sold already. And if it's something random I see, then it's also like, if I'm not interested, I'm gonna watch. If I'm interested, then, well, now I'm not gonna watch. So yeah, I don't think it's exactly that bad of a thing. There is also like, I guess it's kind of like something you need to keep in mind in game design when you like plan something to market through content creators and everything. That's, for example, Detroit Become Human, right? There was also like all these talks back in the day that, you know, like some games are being ruined by like streamers playing them, right? Like some developers like put the stuff like, please don't stream my game and stuff, right? And Detroit Devs, which is like, you know, interactive movie, dude. Like you've seen it, well, you're not gonna play it. You've seen everything. But they actually said that it helps them because there is like enough branching in the story and everything. So like you watch some streamer doing something, they do it that way, and you're like, oh shit, I would do this way. And then you kind of like want to see like what would happen if you do it your way. So then you can maybe go back later and tell like, ah, bro, my choice was better. You suck, you know, pretty much. So that's also something I guess to consider, to add. So you have like at least like some sort of like split maybe an ending. So like you can see only one on stream, and then you kind of like, ah shit, what happens then? Yes, easy. I see. I mean, there is a lot of games really that got big from that. I think like roguelikes and stuff are, well, horror games. I don't know why though, to be honest. That I don't understand. Like how horror games get big that way, I have no idea. Because they usually kind of scuffed, right? And you already saw the jump scares and everything on stream too. You heard them even, most likely, right? And they still sell it like crazy. I don't know. And that I don't know. Well, I'm also not into it, so kind of harder for me. Like Outlast considered really good. I played it and I didn't find it fun. It was just like a chore to get through, basically, just to finish. Thankfully, it's not long, so it was just kind of like sitting there, bro. Stop camping. Just let me pass already, man. So, alright, the lessons. The lessons for the second game. Decided to make an open world game with branching narrative and multiple endings. Well, open world not necessary, but like branching narrative and multiple endings is good. Decided to invest heavily in process and people in art production, and the visual fidelity took a huge leap. Keywords given to in-game screenshot. I did, okay. first and second game and screenshots. Serious fundraising, worked hard on the prototype, started chasing down leads on investment and publishing. However, it's still tougher than we thought. Could not secure a deal after many promising leads. At the same time, an idea started brewing in my head. Both my co-founder and I are machine learning engineers by trade, and we noticed a lot of repetitive labor during 3D artists' workflow and started experimenting with using AI to help artists with their workflow, and has achieved some initial success. I believe being at the forefront of both game dev and AI is the strength of our studio, and we pitched with it. We got our first investment offer in May 2022 that we signed in August at the former Y Combinator China, and my co-founder then flew to Beijing for a roadshow in November 2022. Closed another term sheet with a Silicon Valley VC a few weeks ago. Together with friends and family, we raised over $1 million. So yeah, basically like stop making a game, do some AI stuff. Done. And the auto texture generation tool, may I say. Strategy for the company is to work on the second game alongside the AI project to ensure we're solving problems in the real production environment. Maliang, AI-assisted look dev tool uses prompts to generate PBR materials. Utilize AI technology to help generate 3D game assets. The asset creation was a huge expense for us when we made Keyword. The art assets alone were more than 60% of our total development expense, and even then it was not enough and was one of the major reasons for our financial shortfalls. The vision we have for Maliang is to allow indie studios to develop AAA quality assets with indie budgets. Well, that sounds a bit too loud, a bit too epic. It resonated with many studios we've spoken to. The intention is to generate 3D models. For the long term, we decided to start with PBR material as it's much more achievable with the current available technology. Also, very important part to make the 3D model look professional. In addition, the timing was great as due to the release of Stable Diffusion, DALL-E 2, and Midjourney soon after we started pitching the idea. Yes, they basically kind of like hit it a bit like early. I think if they would wait a bit, when was it? That was 23 days ago, right? Not well. I mean, that all was happening at the end of last year. So if they would wait a little, then they probably would get even more in investment because like the AI hype is just kind of like settling in there. Yeah, so pretty much one here is like, yeah, just switch to AI, and it will be good. Switch to AI and you'll get all the investments. Just make some hype stuff. Boom. Success. Alright. Get back to the PC. Let's get the gaming news recap now. Whoop. There we go. Let's go. Just make good games. Not even that. Well, seems like the first one they made was good. But not good enough for the Corpa, No, not even for the Corpa. They didn't make money back. So like all the assets and everything they were buying, I don't even know. Like that sounds like really dank. If they were spending just on, well, actually what, 60% of the budget was on assets, right? So like 130 or 130 Canadian, so like 100,000 American dollars, they said, right? So like 60,000 just like went on the art alone. That sounds insane, especially considering they said initially like asset packs and everything. So it wasn't even, you know, like contracting some artists, I guess. It was more like buying the asset packs. So like how many assets did they buy there? And they even said that the quality wasn't that good in the end. That's insane. Imagine paying 60,000 bucks for the assets and then still being like, well, shit, the art was kind of bad. Let's use the free ones then already. If the art's still bad, at least save money, dude. Maybe with lower budget, it actually would be more successful then, financially. There we go.